Welcome to the Kentucky Retirement System's Invoice Training Series. This video will provide information on the member pension spiking refund invoice. In the 2017 General Session, Senate Bill 104 was introduced and passed, amending Kentucky Revised Statute 61.598. This amendment administers the pension spiking law for employees with a retirement date on or after January 1, 2018. A pension spike occurs if there is a greater than 10% increase in credible compensation when compared to the prior fiscal year that is not the direct result of an approved exemption, and that increase falls within the member's last 5 fiscal year salaries used in determining their final compensation. Once the spike is detected, the retiring member will have the credible compensation that spikes reduced to the 10% limit, and their final compensation will be calculated based on that revised amount. If a member retiring on or after January 1, 2018 is found to spike during the retirement process, the Kentucky Retirement Systems will automatically reduce the fiscal year salary to the 10% limit and calculate the retirement benefits on the revised credible compensation. The employer is issued a notification by U.S. mail, and they must return the included Form 6487 to Kentucky Retirement Systems in 60 days to advise if the spike is or is not due to a valid exemption. A valid exemption can include a bona fide promotion or career advancement, overtime due to a state or federally declared emergency, and overtime due to a state or federal grant, or a reporting exemption such as lump sum compensatory pay at termination, lump sum alternate sick leave payouts, and leave without pay in the preceding year. If the spike is not due to any of the acceptable exemptions, then the salary will remain at the revised amount, and the pre-tax employee contributions and interest on the difference will be returned to the employer to be refunded to the retired employee. The member pension spiking refund invoice can be accessed through the Invoice module of the Report tab in Employer Self-Service. The invoice will be a multi-page document containing the billing voucher and details page for a single employee of your agency. These invoices will never contain multiple employees. The first page of the invoice contains the employer information, invoice details, payment instructions, and the voucher to attach to a mailed payment. The invoice details will provide information about the invoice number, due date, member information, and the amount due to be refunded. Following the details are the payment instructions that give a brief explanation of what the refund is for and how to process the refund for your specific team. If you need further assistance in processing the refund, please call our employer hotline to speak to a team representative. The remaining page of the invoice contains the details of the refund. Following the employer information and invoice detail information is the last 6 fiscal year analysis, which shows the fiscal year containing the spike along with the revised compensation, which is the salary right up to the 10% limit plus trailing wages. The amount refunded to the employer on this invoice is the employee contributions, or EECON, of the difference between the actual compensation and the revised compensation on the fiscal year that spikes. Please remember, the employee contribution is 5% for non-hazardous employees and 8% for hazardous duty employees. The cost calculation details is the refund total spread out over the entire fiscal year. The refund is spread to prevent 1 month from having all of the EECON refunded, which would cause the member to lose service credit for that month. Once the invoice is issued, the agency has 30 days from the date of creation to pay the invoice. The due date can be found under the invoice details on page 1. Thank you for viewing the Member Pension Spiking Refund Invoice Training. If an agency has questions regarding any of their invoices, they may contact their ERCE team through the employer hotline and ask to speak to their invoice specialist.